My next guest was described by left-wing rag Rolling Stone magazine as the loneliest drag queen in America because of his right-wing, pro-Trump, pro-reality views. Lady MAGA travels the US, breaking down the left's idea of what an LGBTQ person looks and sounds like. Lady MAGA is the creation of artist Ryan Woods, who joins me now. Ryan, let's start with the clip that went viral recently, showcasing just what a job you have ahead of you in educating lefties.
And so I did a study abroad in the Middle East with Israel and Palestine.
Would you say you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel?
Pro-Palestine.
As a gay man, I would be punished and or put in prison or killed if I were openly gay in Palestine. How do you react to that?
I didn't know that. So
It is illegal to be gay in Palestine. You are punished by prison or death.
Israel?
No, Israel has gay pride. Israel is completely open to lesbian and gay people. Palestine puts them in prison or kills them. You weren't aware of that?
I was not aware of that, no. So that does pose an interesting aspect. That's where it gets gray, right? Like, that's where I feel like...
For me, it's not gray. I am fearful of Islam because there is no Islamic country on earth that embraces me as a gay man.
So, okay, so maybe I'm confused because Israel, which is still an Islam country, right?
No, Jewish.
Okay.
My. How do you deal with that level of ignorance? And we have seen the gays for Palestine, the queers for Palestine movement only gain a bigger following in recent months since October 7.
It's ludicrous. I mean, it's slugs for salt, it's mice for cats, and the entire modern I call them the alphabet mafia. The LGBTQIA ever-expanding alphabet agenda is based in ignorance. It's based in feelings and it's based in ignorance. They don't know anything about Palestine. They don't know anything about Israel. They just jump on whatever bandwagon is there, such as the movement for trans children. There's no such thing as a trans child, but they're all about getting puberty blockers and mastectomies for 12-year-old girls. They don't do their homework before they rally behind something. And so that's why I'm just a gay guy who loves to dress up and sparkle. I love this country. I support Donald Trump. And I had to step away from the alphabet nonsense because as that video demonstrates, they're going down the wrong path. Islam is not your friend, LGBTQ people.
Well, I lived in a Muslim majority country in the Middle East, and I can tell you, yes, after the Islamic Revolution in Iran, it is not a safe place for gay men or women. Now, yesterday on Lefties Losing It, we showed clip after clip of Pride Festival goers turning the event into some sort of, I don't know, nudist fetish freak show, sometimes with children present whose parents seem to be fairly comfortable with their kids being exposed to such content. But you went to a Pride event and you spoke to people who seemed more upset with someone in a Trump shirt than nudity in front of kids.
I personally object to the adult nature of Pride, such as that fan in there that has the C word on it. I want them to make it more family friendly.
Oh, you're not going to find that.
If you saw a man in a thong, you wouldn't be uncomfortable?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I just walked behind a girl with the cutest ass little, and she showed half her ass, but she could do that.
You don't mind if your granddaughter sees it?
My granddaughter will choose what she wears. Be proud of your body. If she wants to show a tit, let her show a tit.
What do you think of this gentleman's t-shirt?
Hideous.
Hideous?
He looks hideous. I wouldn't want my granddaughter by him.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about that encounter and others like it. How could they be so triggered by a t-shirt? I don't want my granddaughter standing next to a man in a Trump t-shirt, but completely comfortable with nudity in front of for a child.
Well, I just have to say that I am humiliated that anyone would consider me part of these Pride celebrations that are completely predatory. They're completely debaucherous, they're embarrassing, and a grandmother like her who's willing to let her innocent little granddaughter be exposed to adult sexuality and nudity, it really is shameful. And so I go to Pride to sort of expose what's really going on in hopes that dignified gay people like myself, conservatives, will come out of the closet and take a stand and get rid of this filthy nonsense that does not represent, hardworking, dignified gay people such as myself.
Well, there does seem to be a split. I've spoken on this program to a number of people who are members of the community, the wider community, including with recently Andrew Doyle and Douglas Murray, but a bunch of others too who say they don't feel connected to this Pride movement anymore. They don't see the point of where it's going and how it's been really captured by trans activists and some of the excesses of the trans activists. Now, you went along to another Pride rally, this time in Utah, and I was shocked to see that you were saying the most popular booth was something devoted to a satanic group. Tell me about this.
Yes, this was a devastating experience. I've never felt so awful, and I've never felt so much evil in one place. They were the Satanic Temple, and they were unbaptizing Christians by putting blood on their faces and unbaptizing Christians and shouting, "Hail Satan." And it was the longest line at that Pride festival. And I think people just don't realize that the modern LGBTQIA agenda really is in alignment with anti-family, anti-Christian values. And the transgender movement, especially for children, I would consider that satanic, to mutilate children's bodies. So that's why I disavow Pride. I do not find a need to celebrate my sexuality. I don't even care. I care about my talents. I'm proud of that. I'm not proud of my sexuality. So there's a lot of gay people like myself who are embarrassed and ashamed of Pride Month. And our veterans in the United States, they get one day. They died for our, people who died for our freedoms get one day. And yet these explicit perverts in Seattle and San Francisco walking around naked, they get an entire month to celebrate this nonsense. So that's why I became a public figure and I speak out. And I like to think that I am making a difference and helping people wake up and see the difference between dignified, hardworking gay people and the modern LGBTQIA plus, essentially trans agenda.
And you're on the right side of history, I've got to say, Lady MAGA, because we've seen in the UK, we've seen through parts of Europe and increasingly in the US, an acknowledgement that some of these treatments and surgeries, medical interventions being done on children are just completely out of bounds. In the UK, in fact, they've banned these treatments for under 18s and also elsewhere. So it's good to see there's a fight back, but we need the likes of you out there bringing awareness and fighting it from the inside. Thank you so much. And have you got any plans for travelling to Australia? We'd love to have you here.
Oh, I dream of going to Australia someday. I have actually a lot of followers from Australia. I think there's a great patriot awakening in your country. You suffered so much during the Schmovich scam and so many freedoms were limited. So I think there's a great awakening in your country of people who understand how fragile freedom really is. So I would love to go there. Yes, Australia, here I come someday. I just gotta save up the funds.
Thank you so much, Ryan Woods, Lady MAGA.